Okay, this is Linear Relations Lesson 6, Part 2. I'm going to do the build your skills, number 2. So 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a graph that shows the relationship between centimeters and inches and up to 5 inches. And what the graph will enable us to do is convert between centimeters and inches. So the first thing we're going to need to do is make a table. And we'll go up to 5 inches. Because this is direct, 0 inches is still 0 centimeters. So that's what makes it direct. It starts at 0 and 0. Okay, now 1 inch would be 2.54. And then from here on, every inch will be another 2.54 centimeters. So 2 inches will be 5.08. So I'm adding on 2.54. 3 inches is 7.62. 4 inches is 10.16. And 5 inches is 12.70. Okay. Here's the graph already set up to go. And we will plot our points. Okay, so 0 and 0, direct. And then 1 inch and 2.54 be about there somewhere. And then 2 would be just above 5. Okay, so 4 or 5, just above it. Okay. And then 3 would be 7.62. So that would be just, if this is 7, this is 7.5. That'd be right about there. And then 4 is going to be just above 10. So 9, 10. And then 5 will be 12.70. And if we plotted them correctly, it should make a straight line. So use your ruler and we will plot in the points. Okay, looks pretty good. All right, on to B. So what is the slope of the graph? Okay, so slope, you can use the word slope or the letter M. So just remember M equals slope. And what we're going to do is eventually build our way to here, y equals mx. Okay, so slope is your rise or your y over run, which is your x. So on here, we could use the simplest one, which would be right here. Okay, so our rise is 2.54 and our run is 1. And again, you can use any size of triangle to figure that out. So we're going to have m equals 2.54 and divided by 1, and you're going to probably figure out quite quickly that the slope is 2.54 centimeters per inch. Okay, another way you could have figured this out without doing any kind of equation is as long as the x's are going up by 1 increment, then the difference between the y values is the slope. So 2.54, 2.54, as long as it's this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then you can just look here. Okay, so that's kind of a little fast track way to get the slope. It says write an equation that describes the relationship between inches and centimeters. So instead of going like this and not really understanding what the y and the x are, we can substitute in centimeters and inches. So y is our centimeters, and that equals 2.54 times the number of inches. And that is your conversion equation. So in D, use the equation to calculate how many centimeters are equal to 18 inches. You're going to go centimeters equals 2.54 times 18. And if we multiply those two, we should end up with 45.72 centimeters. Okay, so there we go. Now, because we have centimeters equals this, you don't have to put the little centimeter unit here if you don't want to. Okay, if it confuses you, you can leave it just like that. Okay, now we're going to make a conversion equation between kilograms and pounds. It says 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 pounds. So if we use the same logic from before, pounds should be 2.2 times the number of kilograms. Okay, so it's the same as above. We're just swapping out pounds and kilograms for, centimeters and inches for pounds and kilograms. So B, how many pounds are equivalent to 15 kilograms? Pounds, 2.2 times 15 kilograms. And we end up with 37.5 pounds. Okay, number 4. Iqbal works as a salesperson in an appliance store. His income is a 20% commission on sales. So just a reminder what commission is. For however much you sell, you are going to earn 20% of that. Okay. So fill in the table of values showing Iqbal's earnings for the following sales amounts. So if you don't sell anything, you're going to make nothing. But if you were to sell $1,000 worth of maybe, let's say, electronics, appliance store, $1,000 worth of appliances, you are going to make 20% of this. So what you're going to need to do is multiply by 0.20. So 0.20 is 20% divided by 100. So we're turning percent into a decimal. 0.20. Okay, remember 100% would be just the number 1. So 1,000 times 0.2 is $200. So that's how much you would earn as a salesperson. Just to see where the 20% comes from, if you went 200 divided by 1,000, you're going to get 0.2. And then to get the percent, you'd multiply by 100, and you end up with 20%. So this will end up equaling 20%. It's kind of like when you calculate what your score is on a test. All right, let's say the test was out of 1,000 and you got 200, you got 20%. Same idea. Okay, and if we go through and do all of these on $2,500 worth of sales, you're going to end up with 500 in earnings. 5,000, you could end up with $1,000 in earnings. So what it does is it incentivizes salespeople. Okay, so we're going to draw a graph of the data. So you can see that our first one's going to be 0 and 0, meaning it is a direct linear relation. So I have it set up here. And our first point is 0 and 0. Our next point, if we sell 1,000, we will make 200. If we were to sell 2,500, so halfway between 2,000 and 3,000, we will make 500. If we were to sell $5,000 worth of appliances, we will end up with 1,000 in earnings. Okay, and we'll use our ruler here and connect the points. You don't always need to use a ruler, just any straight edge, debit card, ID card, any of those things work. I'm just going to try that again. That's better. Okay, so there's our graph. And what it's showing is you could go along here now with your graph and go, okay, if I sell 3,000, I'm going to make $600. So it's kind of a useful tool here. So C, write an equation that describes the relationship between Iqbal's sales and his income. So the slope is what we need to find first. Because it's direct, we can use this, y equals mx. And m, which is our slope, is our rise over run. So for us, we'll use the simplest one. We'll go to here. Our rise is 200. And our run is 1,000. So 200 divided by 1,000. Now you're going to notice something. We have already used this equation to figure out the table. We'll just take a quick look at it here. 1,000 times 0.20 equals 200. It's going to look similar to this, but just flipped around because we've already used the equation. Because m is going to come out to 0.20, which is the commission as a decimal, 20%. So now if we fill this in, y is our earnings. Our slope is 0.20, and we multiply 0.20 by our sales. And that's what we did right here. There's our sales times 0.20 equals 200. So all we need to do is just bring this equal sign 200 over here, and we got the same equation. That is the end of lesson 6, part 2.